everyone? Today is Wednesday, June 11th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVIDIA, MSTY, SMCY, and PLTY. But before that, let's just take a look at some pre-market action. For context, it is, well, I'm looking at this as of 5:10 a.m. Obviously, it'll be a little later when you're watching the video. So Tesla continues to go up. It's a little less now, actually. Maybe an hour ago, it was like it was up 5%. I was like, damn. But Tesla's up 2.44%. TSLY is up 1.5%. NVIDIA is down 0.08%. NVIDIA is up 0.06%. Coin is up 0.3%. CONY is up 0.25%. MSTR is down 0.64%. MSTY is up 0.14%. T to the S to the L to the L, they are up 4.94%. TNA, they are up 0.39%. Bitcoin is down 0.07%. BitX is down 0.09%. Saxo is up 0.32%. SMCI is down 0.14%. SMCY is up 0.37%. Palantir is down 0.43%. PLTY is down 0.05%. UPRO is down 0.47%. And TQQQ, they are down 0.33%. Again, that was, I think, pretty quick, good time. But overall, we just want to get an idea of where we stand heading into the day before we look at the trades. And doesn't look like much, man. Doesn't look like much. Not much happening today. So, all good. Well, Tesla's kind of green. Will it stay? It looks like it's coming down a little bit now. We'll see. We'll see if it flips red before the pre-market. But anyway, let's get to the trades. Here we go. Who had trades yesterday? TSLY had trades. NVIDIA had trades. CONY had trades. MSTY had trades. Oh my goodness. SMCY and PLTY. I mean, good lord. Good lord. What a day. What a day. It was only freaking Tuesday and all these damn trades. So what did MSTY do? Beavis? Buy to close. Buy to close. Okay. Buy to close. I don't know, man. They're buying to close something and they're opening something. Let's look at this file to tell you for sure. All right. That's why we got the file. Here we go. All right, let me get to the right tab. All right, synthetic wise, no action, right? No action. So if we look at the 390 synthetic, what was yesterday? The 10th? Yeah, yesterday was the 10th. Again, no action. The 390 is doing well, right? Because MSTR is at 391. And this thing expires in 10 days. So we'll see. They're going to have to roll it either this week or next week. And they'll roll it probably into one of the other synthetics. So it's all good. It's all right. All right. By the way, I did ask Mr. Scotty himself, Mr. SMCY, about the 9,000 movement. And it's just simple. It's basically it's expiring soon. They're just moving it to the new synthetic with a later expiration. And he re-emphasized it doesn't matter, right? The synthetic, no matter where and when you open it, it doesn't matter, right? It mimics the movement of the underlying either way. And I think we need him to explain that. I'll say maybe in a 5-minute answer for all of us, right? Because I say, I always say I get it, but think about it, they open it where they open it, and it's going to go up or down wherever it goes up or down, right? So if you move the 9,000 contracts from the 390 to the 370 or the 380 or the 400 or the 450, it doesn't matter, right? He got the price he got. Whether it goes up or down, it's going to mimic the movement the same way. So, to us, obviously, it's a little foreign. To him, it's a little straightforward. But again, that's something I need to remember next time I do have an interview to focus more on the synthetic. Because the synthetic really doesn't get enough conversation in general, And I get why it doesn't, because it doesn't matter, right? It just mimics the movement, but it's an important piece of the product. All right, let's just move on because I'm yip-yapping already way too much. Synthetic 370, how you doing? Well, you're doing all right because MSTR is 5.72% above you, sucker. We have two 370s. We have a 711 and a 718. The 380, that's the one they just opened again. That also expires in 718. That's doing well as well. Now, how did MSTR price do yesterday? Well, let's see. Yesterday was the 10th. Let me point the heater at the juices. This is my third day of juicing. Usually this is the day that I give up and I eat everything. But we'll see what happens. Busy day at work and baseball after work. So I may be okay because I'm busy anyway. No time to eat. But we'll see. Anyway, MSTR, they went down 0.24%. MSTY said, you know what? No way, sucker. I'm going up 0.19%. Now, again, that's a beautiful thing because we were in the money. Well, we're still in the money. But when we're selling covered calls in the money and all that's happening is we're going down a little bit. So, time decay, a whole day went by and you went down in price. Of course, MSTY is going to have a good day, right? That's exactly what we needed, that type of day yesterday. So, cha-frickin-ching. All right, IV-wise, the change, it went from 55.48% to 53.44%, and then down to 53.24%. And as of, this morning, it's down again. And I should have told you this in the beginning of the video. Google Sheets is acting up again. I don't know why, and I don't have time to care. So if something doesn't work, I'm just skipping through it, and it is what it is. It's going to have to work. This video moves on. I'm already late, and you get what you get, and you don't get upset, all right? That's what we tell the children, so we got to live by it too. All right, so let's take a look at the trades. What did they close yesterday? Remember buy to close? Buy to close. All right, 1,000 contracts. They closed 400 strike. What they pay? $333. All right, that looks like a lot of money, but look how much they got in opening it, 620 credit. So they made what? Bankabra, kind of, 287,000 on that trade. So pretty damn good right there. And then they closed a whole bunch more 400s. They paid $346 for these suckers, right? And I think there's two more down here. Yep. So overall, obviously, based on the credit they got, these are winner chicken dinners as well. Made $249,000, $204,000, $152,000, $89,000, and $79,000. So, yeah. All right, moving along here. Let me get rid of this formula box. I know it's annoying. All right, here's the 2,000 contracts. They closed for, 67 cents. So, yeah, chump change. Obviously, that's a winner. 194K on that trade. So, yeah, I'll take it. And then what did they do? 610, what did they do? By the way, I wanted to mention this 420. They opened it on June 9th. They closed it on June 10th. Quick freaking trade, man. 1 DTE, sucker. I love this. They made $328,000 when they opened it. They paid $134,000 a day later. And they made over 50% of the profit in one day, probably less than a freaking day. So that's awesome. Again, things like this, active freaking trading. You don't see this. Like, this is a product of no other, man. I mean, I'm not, this is just, this is the stuff that you would do as an options trader. You'd stay active in your account and you'd want to take that quick profit, right? In case, because you don't know what's going to happen. Take the profit, move on. Take the profit, move on. Take the profit, right? So, again, I just love this trade, and I wanted to mention that when I saw it yesterday. I'm glad I remembered, because I don't remember crap anymore. So, what are the new trades? Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of them. There's a 410. They're buying a call. They're buying a 400. They're buying a call, selling a call, buying a call, selling a call, they're buying a call, and they're selling a call. So they're buying calls, selling calls. So long story short, they're buying calls, selling calls. And we'll get to that when we get to the holdings. But basically, they're selling a 410 call, but they're buying a lower call at freaking 400. I love it. I don't know. I love it, man. Obviously, they're, MSTR is confusing this week. We don't know what it's going to do. But It's going to get really interesting. And I hope the holdings, I really hope the MSTY holdings tab works because I want to talk about, where they stand. All right, outstanding shares, did they change? I don't remember, man. Yes, they did. Increase of 350,000. Duh, of course they would change, and of course they would increase. All right, here's the recap. MSTY price 21.25, MSTR price 391.18. Keep in mind these prices are as of the close yesterday, which was Tuesday. 30-day IV not updating. Outstanding shares 225 million. 650,000. Total net income 39.9 mil. Total distribution 18 cents. Total daily income 2 cents a day. Total daily yield 0.09%. And if you annualize that sucker, 33.8%. Let me make sure these formulas are still kicking in. Yeah, they are. Okay. All right, so let's move on. This is the tab where, before we go any further, we look at the various competition, the various MSTR ETFs, because we're obsessed, right? We're obsessed with Bitcoin. We're obsessed with MSTR. We're obsessed with MSTY. And that obsession is growing. And it's growing on me, too, because I just started an interview with Michael Saylor and Jordan Peterson, and good God, two freaking geniuses there. I didn't get to finish it, but that's going to motivate me even more. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. MSTR went down yesterday, 0.24%. We saw MSTY beat it. It went up 0.19%. Winter went up 0.08%. So look at that. On a down day, MSTR went down about 0.25%. MSTY beat Winter. So yeah, in your face, Winter. Yeah. All right, IMST, how you doing? They went down as well, but only a fraction, about 0.02%. MST, they went down 0.42%. Well, again, they got lots of leverage. MS2 went down 0.24%. So the winner is MSTY Mafia. Yeah. All right, so let's keep going, man. All right, reaction time is on my side. Yes, it is. So why do I have time in the picture? Well, time is so important when it comes to freaking options. And that's all we need now. Just let time be on our side, all right? Let time go by. Let's earn the crap out of the premium we already got. And let's see what happens. Anyway, Group D declares on July 2nd. Moving on. Payment information, well, yeah, we don't have any bank brah here. We have synthetic loss, so we'll skip through that. Yeah, it's a loss of 239 mil. But the weeklies produced, 39.9 mil, we said. That's about 18 cents per share. Rodemator says, yeah, all things being equal, 59 cents, 36% yields. That's not happening. But the IV is dropping. I think it's in the 40s, to be honest. I know it's not updating, but I think it lowered to the 40s when I saw it this morning. Hey, it is what it is, man. I don't know what to say. All right, MSTY Holdings. All right, thank God this updated. All right, so where do we stand heading into the rest of the week? Again, today is Wednesday. All of these contracts, they expire Friday, which is what? 1, 2, 3. 3 days away. Are we going to win all of our trades? We don't know, obviously, but it's going to be a close one. The lowest strike price that we have is $385. MSTR is currently at $391, so it's above the strike price, which means, we're going to have to, either way, we have to pay to close the position. We just don't want to pay a little more out of pocket than we have to. Because right now we're paying about, $6 extra of intrinsic, they call it intrinsic income, which is the difference that it goes over the strike. So we'd have to pay that plus whatever time value is left. So we don't want to do that. So we want MSTR, best case scenario, to close just below the 385 before we close it on the Thursday or the Friday, right? Obviously, if you close it on the Thursday, you want it to be a little more below the 385 because there is a little more time value expense left. If you close on the Friday at like 350, which they won't probably, but if they close it like 380, 350 and it's 384.90, yeah, that penny, sucker. I mean, it depends. Obviously, sometimes MSTR is nuts. But, you know, you get what I'm saying. That's like maximum profit. That's like best case scenario. But again, they're going to start closing these probably maybe a little today, maybe a little Thursday, and then maybe a little Friday. I don't know that for sure, but usually that's the trend that I see. So anyway, we said the lowest strike price is 385. That's 1.58% in the money. Then we have a 387.50. That is 0.94% in the money. And then we have a 390. That is 0.3% in the money. So 3 strike prices in the money. And then we got 4 out of the money. The furthest one out is the 410. That's 4.81% in the money. And we got a little insurance policy just in between, a 400. They bought a call, 17,500 contracts. So if MSTR goes above 400, this is going to earn us some extra income. So again, nice little addition right there. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's keep going here. These are the outstanding holdings. Obviously, this totals, you know, all of these little holdings here, they have a market value, and they total to be about, we'll round it up. We'll say 4.8 bill. What do you think? 4.8 bill? The NAV, 21.26, trade price, 21.25. Synthetics individually, what are they worth? Well, they're all positive, okay? So that's a good sign. The one that's worth the most is the 370. That expires July 18th. It's worth about 81 cents per share. Total synthetic contracts, take a look at this, 122,715, right? Obviously, we want to verify that on our other tab. Let's go to the synthetic tab. The last one adds them all up, 122,715. That's good. And then total contracts sold. Again, I have F15 plus some F15 to F20 plus F22. Okay, F15 to F20 plus F22. So they are selling calls on about 139,000 contracts. They only have 122,000 synthetic, right? If you highlight these two, what's the difference? Well, if I highlight them, it'll probably go ape. So I'll just add them. If I do this plus this, 16,350. Okay. So they're selling calls on an extra 16,350. Are they able to do that? Well, remember, they do have this little insurance policy. 17,500 contracts. It's a buy call, right? It's a synthetic technically, right? They can use this to sell calls on it, and they did. So that's technically we can add that next to the synthetic contracts to show. But normally they don't, you know, they do it for each synthetic position. But obviously if they buy a call, you know, technically they could use that, you know, replicate that as the synthetic. And if, you know, obviously this is new to me. Hopefully I stated that correctly. But I believe, yeah, that's the kind of the thing. So technically, yeah, they could trade all the 17,500. What does that leave left over? About 1,200 that they didn't, for whatever that's worth. So yeah, again, something different, something we're not used to, which again, I like. It helps us learn each and every day. Is it the right move though? Who the hell knows? IMST, well, they weren't updated before, so I don't know what the heck this is going to look like. Hopefully they didn't make any trades. Let me see real quick. Nope, they didn't. Okay, good. All right, so what do they got? Again, they got 3 synthetic positions. They expire next week, so we don't care about that. Again, buy, call, sell, put, same thing. Same thing as YieldMax. And then they're selling calls. What expires this week? 613. They have a 390. That's 0.3% in the money. And they have a 385. That's 1.58% in the money. So, you know, Capity Duda, sure. On what? 340 contracts plus 431. So, you know, it's a little harder to read the way they have this set up. They're not, you know, joining them together. But I don't know how much interest you guys have on IMST. I've been keeping the coverage pretty brief. But you guys give me the feedback, right? Do you want me to dive further into the various competitors as we go through them? Or is what I'm doing work? Is it just fine, all right? The value of IMST, just so you know, is 72.4 mil, so it's kind of growing. They declare again on June 26th, so I will update that information when they come. Because remember, that first declaration, that was a big yield. But that was over a span of 51 days. We'll see what they do this time around. MST, well, yeah, well, IMST is bitwise, by the way. MST is Defiance. This is updated too. Luckily, this is not gonna be right, unfortunately, because again, it wasn't freaking working before. So what the hell can I do? Buy call. Yeah, it's all formulated, man. Buy call. Yeah, this is a buy call too. What do? They create leverage, right? They do 1.5 to 2x leverage of MSTR. So they move 1.5 to 2 times whatever MSTR does, all right? Does that make sense? All right, they don't have a synthetic. They have a freaking swap. It's at the top, all right? You want to learn more about swaps, you got to Google it. I do have, did I put something on swaps down there? I think I did. There you go. A stock swap is a derivative contract, meaning its value is derived from the performance of an underlying asset. The core idea is that one party pays a stream of cash flows, typically a fixed rate, or based on a benchmark, blah, 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 while the other party pays. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's a contract between two parties that somehow tracks the freaking movement. It's very complicated, and I don't really care enough to read any further about it. So basically, they're mimicking the movement of MSTR, but they're doing it 1.5 to 2x leverage, and they do it through buying calls and doing swaps, all right? And then they sell calls, I believe, on about half of the MSTR position, or, well, I don't want to say half, all of the MSTR position. That's just normal leverage. That's 1x leverage, all right? So that being said, here's the calls. June 13th, they all expire Friday. And are they cappity-doo-dah? Yeah. Cappity-doo-dah, cappity day. All right, they have a 380. What else? They got 385. These are in the money, 2% in the money, 1% in the money, but they got some out of the money. But again, we'll see. They're kind of in the same position as the others. Ignore this uncovered covered, because obviously I did not update that because it wasn't updating. MS2, as you recall yesterday, they weren't holding crap, and they updated it. Here you go. They got synthetic. Oh, yeah. How many contracts? 32. 16 plus 16 is 32. All right. So they have 32 synthetic contracts, and they're selling calls on 16. So what does that mean? They're selling calls on 50% of the fund. All right. They're doing what they said. That's great. Are they going to win their trade? I hope. Let's see. They are in the money. 3.84% in the money. But yeah, man, they got this, they're trading some interesting strike prices, right? Look at those, 376.17. Let me double check that. Yeah, man. I guess the European Flex Exchange allows you to do this, which is interesting. But how much interest really is there? I guess the market makers are everywhere. So it's nuts. This is crazy. But yeah, we'll see. Again, it's early. They still got 3 trading days. We got more than half the week left, so we can't go crazy. All right, so that's the update on freaking Misty. I did have a question, I think. Let me find it. Here it is. All right, this question is from Mr. Stephen Niles. Thank you for the question. Last month, NVIDIA earned $1.32 per share, yet they paid $1.62. This cycle, so far, they earned $1.33. Do you think they will pay an amount comparable to last time? I would also like to know why they paid more than they earned when their earnings were positive. Don't they usually pay less than they earn if the earnings are positive? And cappity-doo-dah, booyah. All right, so let me take a sip of water. Well, I guess the answer is I don't know. And the other answer is you're basing your numbers, I assume, based on my data, right? Which I'm assuming, well, is accurate. We all assume, we hope it's accurate, right? It's a poll of the actual total net income. But you have to consider the whole year. You have to consider the implied volatility. And you can have to consider when they declared, right? How much they earn per share in the end. Technically, They can't calculate until the Thursday morning when they know how many people bought into the fund, and that's how much they earn per share. So they have to make a decision on how much they're going to pay, right? On the Monday, which is based on Friday income. So if they made 162 per share, and by Thursday morning, the outstanding shares increased a lot, and technically they only earned $1.32 per share, then yeah, so be it. But yeah, even regardless out of that, sometimes they could pay a little more than what they made. In fact, when they don't make any money, they always pay more than what they made. Again, these are income funds. So what they pay is going to vary so much that it's better off that we're not sitting here, counting, pennies and cents here. Why? Because, sometimes they'll pay more, sometimes they'll pay less. And keep in mind, the IV that they use may not be the same IV that I use, right? They probably use a more current IV, like a weekly IV or something like that. So, and also, like I said, fiscal year, look back, look at the prior months. Did they earn extra in prior months that they held back that they could pay on the future months? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Again, because there's a lot of months where they underpay, and that happens. So they could save it for the overpay. But again, I wouldn't sweat it, to be honest. I know that doesn't really help your question. But, it is what it is, But for the most part, they do pay kind of what, in the range, right? In the range. Sometimes there's a surprise or two. And then sometimes it's a surprise in a good way. Sometimes it's a surprise in a bad way. But mostly, a lot of it involves the implied volatility and, of course, obviously, how much they make. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. If not, you can yell at me later, and then we'll go from there. Let me gray this out so I know I answered it, because, yes, I will forget, because I forget everything. There's a lot going on lately. Funny thing is, I thought baseball was over. No. All-Star weekend All-Star week next week, which means we have a game 4 days in a row. So that means practice 3 days in a row. Well, actually, 4 days. 4 days in a row. Oh, man. Baseball. Yeah, it's... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful that I'm able to coach my son. But boy, oh boy, sports is freaking crazy. It really is. And I still have a 3-year-old boy coming up. I am so screwed. All right. Anyway, that's Misty. Let's cover TSLY. TSLY, what do they got? Buy call, sell put, sell call. All right, it's pretty simple. They're adding to their synthetic 335, and they're selling calls on the 337.50. All right, let's see if you're updated. Yay, we're so excited. We're so excited for you. You're updated. All right, how do you doing, Tesla? Did you have a good day? Of course you did. You recovered. You went up 5.37%. Wow. TSLY captured 4.04%. That is a 75% capture. I mean, that's pretty good after the day before. I mean, considering. But we are probably capity-doo-da. Let's take a look, though. Synthetic-wise, real quick, what do they got? They got a 320, they got a 335, and they got a 340. But they opened these before the Elon Trump fight. So they're all kind of hurting. And they're all half gold diggers. But we won't go there yet. Let's take a look at the cover calls. We got cover calls. All right. Let's see if I can get them on one screen for you guys. It's all about you guys after all. All right. So here we go. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So the lowest strike, unfortunately, in the money, 315 strike. It's 3.4% in the money. The next strike is in the money. And then the next strike is in the money. So they have 3 strikes in the money. And then they are scattered. You know, they do go as high as 360, and they bought calls in between. So again, they are set up for they're in a pretty good spot. So you know what? Again, as a TSLY shareholder, you're at the, let it do what it's got to do. Don't sing it, bring it. Look, you blow past the strikes. We got insurance. All right. All right. Look at that. 345, bought a call. So, yeah, go above 345. I dare you, right? So, we're not going to capture all the upside, but we are prepared to capture some. And obviously they can today close out the 315, take the hit, move it up, and then we can capture more upside. But again, we'll see how it goes. Tesla recovered pretty quick, so it may take a chill today or tomorrow. We don't know, right? It's recovering rather fast, just like it dropped pretty fast. So Tesla's nuts. It's just, I love it, man. I freaking love it. The IV, is just it's working lately. It's really working. So this is a fun to track lately, I have to say. And Misty's pissing me off because their IV sucks, to be honest, and it's still the GOAT. But Tesla's, I'll have to say, a little more exciting lately. All right, the value of TSLY, though, is 1.1 bill. The NAV is 866, trade price 867. Synthetic bailout, no, there is no money there on paper. 30-day IV, woo-wee, 62.9%. IV estimate based on that, 42 cents. Income estimate, I did not update, but again, this did restart on the Monday, so I'll update that on the Saturday morning. And declaration date is in 0 days. 6:55 a.m. today, they will declare their distribution, which will be, who the hell knows? All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, so maybe they said juicing gives you more energy, so maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Although when the alarm went off at 4, I did not feel energy at that time. All right, NVIDIA's up. Buy call, sell put, sell call. So they're adding to their 120 synthetic and selling a call for this week. Going back to our files. How you doing, NVIDIA? Well, NVIDIA yesterday, they went up 0.92%. Pretty chill day. I like that. NVIDIA went up even more. Went up 0.98%. So, all right, synthetic-wise, how you doing? They got a 120 and they got a 130. NVIDIA's at 143. So they are making bank on paper, brah. Bank. All right, how are their calls doing? Not bad. Their lowest strike is 145. That is 0.72% out of the money. Their highest strike is 149. That is 3.5% out of the money. So they got 5 strikes and they are kind of scattered-to-do. And then they're buying little insurance policies, little butt buddies down here, but they're probably going to be useless. But hey, they were there for moral support. All right, the value of NVIDIA is 1.5 bill. The NAV is 1630, trade price 1632. Will this ever recover to 20? Hey, it's possible. Won't be easy, but it's possible. Synthetic is worth 220 on paper, which is pretty sweet. 30-day IV of NVIDIA, though, that kind of sucks, 34%. IV estimate based on that, 44 cents. But they do have an income estimate of $1.29, and they declare next week. So that's going to be a fun one to guess on Sunday. Because if they pay $1.29, that's a 103% yield. So we could say, yeehaw! All right, Group B, like we said, declares on June 18th. Stay tuned for that, buddy. All right, up next, your boy, the one, the only, the CONY head. All right, so what do we got? Buy, close, put. All right, purple alert. What are they doing? They're closing the 250, right? The 250 synthetic. It expired June 20th, which is next week. They rolled it out. Same strike. They rolled the date out. That's it. They rolled it out 2 months. Perfect. Did they make bank? I wouldn't call it bank, bruh, but they made some money. Because look, the stock price is at what? 254. The synthetic's at 250. It's not nothing to jump up and down about. All right, and then here, same thing. They rolled it. Same strike price, but they just rolled it out in expiration. All right, pretty simple. I like it. I like simple, man. Give me a damn break. All right, Coin, they went down 0.66% yesterday. CONY went down 0.25%. So, yeah. That's what I thought. All right, synthetic-wise, what are you doing? Well, yeah, look at that. What a beauty, man. 8.15. We don't have to talk about this stupid synthetic anymore. You know why? Because it expires on 8/15. Good. All right, so now we could focus on our weekly covered calls. Are we going to win our trades? Well, we have 4 strike prices. The lowest of the strike prices is a 255. It is 0.02% out of the money. So if coin stays flat, winner, chicken freaking dinner. But yeah, what are the odds of that? The highest strike price, it goes up to 275. It is 7.87% out of the money. So, hey, man, they're not bad. Not a bad spot. But it's a tight one. It's I don't know. I'll have to give you guys a lunch update on Twitter today, on X today. With for the CONY heads. So follow me on the X. It's called Retire on Dividend, no D. I do lunch updates. I do MSTY every day. Then I throw in one of these others. But I think CONY should be the one today. Remind me, please. All right. Anyway, the value of the CONY fund, 1.1 bill. The NAV, 804. Trade price, 805. Synthetic is worth 23 cents on paper. But again, we're not talking about it. It expires in 2 months. So leave me alone. 30-day IV, 50%. That's not that great. IV estimate based on that, 31 cents. Income estimate sucks too. It's only 11 cents. But anyway, Group C declares they got 2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks, 14 days. We'll see. All right, up next, your boy SMCY, a.k.a. SMCY Suckers. Obviously, things are working. Things are updating. I don't know what this sheet's going to look like. I don't even know if I updated it. But let's see. Let's see their trades. Oh, my God. They have a lot of trades. Holy crap. All right, buy to close, 9 cents. Obviously, that's a winner. Buy to close, 10 cents. So, yeah, they're closing out their trade. They're 48 here. And they're selling a 44. So they're keeping the same date. They're keeping it in the same week, again, which I love. And they're lowering the strike price from 48 to 44. On here, they're lowering the 48 to, where is it? 45. Okay. So a 44 and a 45. And they're doing some, I guess, moving some, credit call spreads, butt buddies, AKA, whatever. We'll see that on the file. All right, so how did SMCY do yesterday? It went down. It went down a little, went down about 0.5%, and SMCY only went down 0.1%. So fantastic. All right, they have a synthetic, and their synthetic expires when? Next week, June 20th. Their synthetic strike is at 45. SMCY is at 42.91. So as of right now, it ain't worth the crap. In fact, it'll cost us money when we close it. What the hell is this? See, I told you this crap wasn't updated. All right, so I got to look here. So, yeah, the green, that's a buy call. The strike column, wait, why is... Oh, duh. Never mind. So which one's the synthetic? This 44, 786. Yeah, right there, under the buy call. Okay, and then these. That didn't work. What is happening? 45. That was right. Was it right? Yeah, 45. Okay. Sorry. Don't mind me, man. Don't mind me, brah. All right. We get rid of that. And then we get rid of that. All right. So now it's a little easier to look at. So, again, this is based on the trades they did yesterday. I'm not going to highlight the rest, but basically they have 3 strikes. They all expire to Friday this week. I was going to say tomorrow. It's not even close to Friday, man. Oh, boy. All right, the lowest strike is a 44 strike. That's 2.54% out of the money. The highest strike is a 45, 4.87% out of the money. Not quite sure if that's safe, but we'll see. The value of the fund is 192 mil. The NAV is 1912. Trade price same. It's synthetic. Ain't worth crap on paper. 30-day IV, 65.9%. I like that. IV estimate based on that, 97 cents. Income estimate, only 3 cents. Group D, though, they have 3 weeks to declare on July 2nd. So stay tuned for that. Up next, your boy PLTY. I'm not sure if I updated this one. Again, there was I've been having technical difficulties all freaking week. Yesterday's video, I had to load it at 8 a.m. It took 2 hours to load, and I'm not kidding. And I had to drive to work. praying that it actually would load at some point, because if not, I would have had to wait till I got home, which would have sucked. But anyway, so yeah, it is what it is, man. When you commute, freaking, unless I can't even bring the laptop to work. I don't know. It's just, what a mess. Anyway, buy, call, sell, put. They're adding new money to the fund. That's good. So, but here's the buy to close. What the hell? 550? Good God. All right, this is a strike of 129. The price is at 132, so they got blown through. What'd they do? They closed it out. They took the hit, and they sold a call at 137. They rolled it up to capture more upside, 3.15% out of the money. So let's go take a look at that. That's not going to help their total income estimate, that's for sure. Palantir went up 0.56%. PLTY captured about 70% of that. They went up 0.4%. Let's see how their synthetics doing. They got at 115. It's doing awesome, actually, because Palantir is at 132, so they could always cash that sucker out. So in your face. How about that? All right, so what do they got going on here? They got 4 strikes of 130, which is 2.12% in the money, and the 131, 1.36% in the money. So they ain't nothing but cap-a-dee-doo-da. They got 50% caps on, and then they got 2 more strikes, 2 and 3% out of the money. We'll see how they hold up. So time will tell, baby. Time will tell. If we win, we may win. The PLTY fund is worth 556 mil, half a bill. Yeah. The NAV is 65.70, trade price 65.79. Synthetic, this is what we want to know. How much is it worth on the paper? $9.09. Are you kidding me? All right, 30-day IV, 54%. IV estimate based on that, $2.76. Income estimate, yep, in the crapper until they cash out some of that synthetic. It's negative $1.37, but who cares? Who cares? Group B declares when? Well, next week, of course, 7 days away, so stay tuned for that. I will have a guesstimate on the Sunday, but if their income estimate's negative, then guess what? No, because they do have back pay. So, maybe $5. Maybe. Oh, I hear movement upstairs. The kitties are awake, which means chaos begins. All right, so that's the update on the YieldMax funds, all of them. And now we will begin the coverage on my options trading. If I could find my file, there it is. All right, so real quick, is there a question? No question. MSTY, I still have not sold any calls. Again, as it gets closer to 23, I will consider it because that's my lowest cost basis, because I'm doing these 1-to-1, because obviously I can't do it on my average cost basis of 26.40. So for now, MSTY is just a buy and hold, collect the distribution, shut up and move on, right? So we'll see how that goes. All right, TSLL, let's see what I did yesterday. I didn't do anything yesterday? Did I do any buy to close? No, I guess I didn't touch it. Okay. I could have sworn this 16. I don't know. This this is definitely from yesterday. I think I screwed up the date. No, I would have sold 3 calls in one day. All right, yeah, I definitely sold a call yesterday. But I went into the following week, and the reason I went into the following week, which means I chose a 6:20 expiration instead of 6:13, is because the call strikes on the 6:13, they weren't paying crap if I went out a little further. And I wanted to go out further because I don't know what TSLL is doing. It's going ape, right? Tesla's freaking green every day. So I went out another week, and that way I was able to go 33% out of the money, right? So obviously from here, from where it's at, it's 33% upside capture. So for that, obviously, it's going to pay me a little less premium, which it did. It paid me about 15 cents per share, and that's a 45% yield. The delta on that was 0.12. So that's all I did yesterday. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go into the other trades because it's, we still got 3 trading days. But the update is, as mentioned previously, I own 700 shares of TSLL. Right now, I have sold calls on 500 of those shares, which means I can still sell calls on 200. So if TSLL decides to be green yet again today, I will sell yet another call into next week again, probably for a strike price of, 50 cents to $1 higher than where this one's at. It depends how much it jumps, right? If it jumps a little, I still like to get a little above the last strike. Depends what it pays, of course, but, we'll see. Total income I have earned from TSLL this week is $220. All right. And by the way, that degenerate put, remember that degenerate put we did in the beginning? We made $185. It's safe now. It's 5.88% out of the money. When I sold it, it was 15% in the money. So that gamble, that degenerate play, sometimes they work out. And I know I'm talking way too soon because there's 3 days left. But again, I can close it today, right? I can close it probably for cheap. And I may just do that. I don't know. I may not. We'll see. But again, I made $185 for that. Isn't that awesome? It's freaking amazing. I don't know. I love it. I love options. Can't help myself. All right, yesterday, TNA, I think it was green. Yeah, it was green yesterday, but I can't sell calls. Look at this. All 500 are covered. So I said, you know what? I don't give a crap. I'll sell a put. I'll sell a put. Why the hell not? All right. It was at 33.40. I sold a put at 31, 7.19% out of the money. Delta was 0.15. So again, pretty safe move. It paid me about 21 cents per share or $21, which is a 56% annualized yield. And why did I sell a put when it's up? Again, to kind of dare it to go down, right? I dare you to go down because that way my covered calls will all be safe. Because right now my covered calls are kind of in danger, right? TNA, it's at what? 33.11. I have covered calls at 31. That's in the money, right? I have a covered call at 33. That's in the money. And then I have a 34, 35, and 36, which they're in danger. So I need TNA to take a chill pill. So in order to do that, I need to call it out via sell put, all right? Yeah, I could have done higher than 31, but yeah, I didn't, because I'm pretty much on target with my goal. So I was like, let me keep it a little safe, a little on the safe side. So I did. See that? Sometimes I'm actually a safer degenerate than you guys think. But here we go. The premium earned, $53. Yeah, that sucks. 90. Yeah. See, that looking at that, obviously, that makes me want to do a degenerate play now, because I'm not earning a lot of money from TNA, which is one of my favorite ones to trade. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how today goes. But let's see how close I am to my weekly goal. My weekly goal, for those of you that are wondering, I need to earn $351 per week to hit my hit my monthly goal, I should say. That's how it breaks down per week. So far, I have earned $273, so I am $78 short, and I can make that. I'm going to try to make that today, honestly, and just, be done with it. We'll see. We'll see. I can make that in one trade, one degenerate trade away from making my goal, and then I could probably just chill the rest of the week and just let time value expire. Expired. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, again, that's just a quick update for my options trades. I'm having blast trading options. Most of my account is options now, outside of what I own on MSTY. But yeah, if you're interested in learning about options, I have a whole options playlist where I did a couple whiteboard videos where I kind of talked about it. And some people said it was helpful, so go check it out in case you're interested. If you learn at the same pace as, that I speak, it may be helpful. All right. So I think we're at the end of the video. So I just want to tell you guys or remind you guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow and we will entertain you or try to entertain you again. All right. Sound good? Great. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It helps. It helps the channel. Helps the channel grow. All right. We're growing. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're growing, baby. We are growing. All right. Freaking growing. Garage recording. All right. No. And if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. If you have a video question, as mentioned previously, you have to type video question in front of the question, and then I will add it to the video. As simple as that. All right, I'm done yapping. I got nothing left, but so I will end it here. All right. But before I end it here, it's keyword time. Yes, that's right. If you made it this far into the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. What's today's keyword? How about day 3, sucker, right? It's day 3 of me juicing. Hopefully I make it through. Again, I got 6 juices to drink today. Very filling. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's it. That's why I'm probably extra annoying today. Because I'm all, I got nothing else to do but drink juices and talk on YouTube, right? So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video, is day 3. You got to type in day 3 in the bottom of the comments, because it's day 3 of the juice cleanse. Hopefully we drop some weight. Hopefully we're ready. We're on target. We're getting ready for the summer. Take our shirts off and be okay, I guess, right? Used to be like high expectations. The older you get, it's like, okay, just look all right, you know? But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, type down in the comments below day 3. And that way I know and others know you made it to the end of the video. Also, I may do a live stream at lunchtime. I don't know the schedule yet. I don't know when my lunch break is today, or my schedule today in general, but I may be doing a live stream covering the YieldMax declaration announcement that happened already, probably by now this morning. So stay tuned for that. If you guys can join, I'll try to get the link out sooner than later so you know what time it is. I hope you guys can join, because I'll do some Q&A at the end if you guys have any questions for me. All right? Sound good? Great. Wonderful. Again, I just want to say I appreciate all of you. Thank you, everyone, for watching day in and day out. I know sometimes they're good videos, sometimes they're bad videos, but you guys hang in. I could tell by the views. Yesterday's views were a little sucky because, again, I posted it late. It is what it is. It loaded. It took 2 hours. But today's will be on time. Let's do it. What time is it now? Oh, 6:03. All right, I got to end it. All right, thank you guys for watching. And again, have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Or no, I'll talk to you this afternoon, hopefully, at lunch. Peace.